Well, I mean, the first thing I thought as I got off the field was that, we wanted our kids to have the mindset to come in and they were going to be ready to play. And with the mindset if they came out there ready to play, that they could make things happen. In this game, you don't know how it was going to end. And that's exactly what we did. The defense came out, created a turnover, offense got the ball scored, and then reality hit. They were a better football team. And defensively, I think our not knowing that we had to stop the run, it just put them on so many one-on-one situations that they had 3 or 4 one-play drives, big plays that took them either into the end zone or very close. And we might be able to keep the score down or play close if you got 10 or 12 play drives. So I know that was the big thing, is that we gave up too many deep balls or big plays in the passing game. I would have to watch the film more, because a lot of times when you're asking your safeties and everybody to stop the run so they don't just run it down your throat, that's the way offenses work. They get you to stop the run and they throw over top against one-on-one coverage. I just felt like too many times we've got to go back and make them drive the difference. Offensively, we couldn't sustain anything against them. They beat us up front. We could not beat them up front at any point in the game to run consistently or have big runs. Every throw had to be a very quick throw because they got to our quarterback. And I think if you look at the entire game, the one that just made it almost impossible to change is physically, they were just so much better than us at their defensive front compared to our offensive front, that it was just 3 and out or maybe 1 first down. And now you got to hope you have a big playmaker that's going to make a big play. I don't think we have enough big playmakers on offense that they catch a ball and go to the distance or something like that. So again, came out ready to play. I think we could have played better, because we gave up deep balls, and I think we gave them an extra possession on a punt that we were offsides or had a penalty. And then they just played like a better football team and won the game, and like I say, and we've got to go learn from it and go from there. Any questions?
Thanks, Eric.
Yes.
Not to make too much of this one, because you're playing an SEC opponent and over half of that. But how much of this was kind of a wake up call for you guys as a staff as to what you've got, what some problems you have, and where you need to get better?
Hard to say, because anytime you're playing Kentucky and they're projected, I don't think, just to be a lower half of the SEC. I think many people are picking them top 3 in the Eastern Division. That would include Florida and Georgia, I would imagine. So, I mean, are we equal to top 3 in the SEC? I don't think so. I don't think you would say 0-10 ULM has moved and progressed to the point that we can compete with the top 3 in the Eastern Division of the SEC. I mean, could we have played better or kept the score closer? I think the way they played, and the quarterback, what he brings to the table, the tailback and the offensive line, their physical abilities on defense, and the Mark Stoops defense is always pretty good. I don't really want to read too much into this. I've coached too many years at group of the 5 level. When you have a big money game, it pays you a lot of money. Their team plays well enough to beat you badly, and you go out there and have the best year you've ever had. I've had that happen several times. So I'm not about to read too much into the ball. I do know that if we play a team that's better than us, you've got to make them drive the field. One-play drives are get the game out of hand, and we let too many big plays happen there. I think what has to concern you offensively is that we don't seem to have the big play guy, the guy that can take it out there and outrun people or make a lot of people miss and have that aspect of the game. We'll see a little bit better as we play people that are not in the SEC, but I don't think I'm going to read too much more into this game than you really can, having again been in these games where you upset people, and been in these games where you don't really equal up to the opponent. So we've got a long way to go to be equal to a team like Kentucky. We've got a long way to go to be the best team we can be. We've got 2 weeks before our first game to get better.
You mentioned the lack of big play threat, and you tried some different quarterbacks tonight, but at the same time, is it fair to not read too much into that as well, just because with the offensive line being a concern, it was going to be hard for anybody to get back there and get some rhythm in it?
Yeah, I mean, we couldn't push. We had no push. We couldn't run the ball, and so now every passing situation they can kind of let you catch it and tackle. The short intermediate passes that you have to throw when you've got a pass defense that's better than your offensive line. You've got to be able to throw short passes 4 or 5 yards, but that has to be coupled with 4 or 5 yard gains. And so they were able to stuff us up front till we couldn't consistently get big plays. I don't want to say, I would just like to watch our video and see if there's anything we can take advantage of. But I would say a concern coming out of this game, and not letting it be an over concern, because Kentucky's probably going to whip our fannies no matter what we do. We've got to look out there and see, do we have that we recognize that we've got to find the what playmakers that we have that are a little bit better than the rest of them. We'll work hard to let them rise to the top. We're probably still probably trying to figure out who those are, and that's where we are right now.
At the same time, Stark couldn't have been any better. I think it was that was kind of an accumulation of a lot of things and a lot of energy you guys have brought through spring practice. Just your thoughts on the start of the game and finally taking a lead.
Well, I mean that's what you hope. You start out like that, create a turnover. I mean it was a tip ball. They threw it a little bit behind, and we made the play that we had the opportunity to make. And then the offense put together a score, put together a drive. And I mean, and you think about the mindset you want your team to have going into a game like this, and you can be deflated before you ever get to the game. That you watch enough film and you read the paper and you see the odds and you see the chances, and you come in defeated before you get on the field. We were defeated on the field as it should be, but not before the game. I thought, like I say, did both teams come out? In fact, they may have come out flat, but I don't think necessarily they came out flat. They threw a ball, they tipped it, they threw it behind. We got the intercept off of probably a ball that got tipped, and then we put together a couple of first downs before they could adjust to what type of things we were doing and got a touchdown. So, I did tell our team, I said, I'm not sure that we played our best, and I don't think that we did. But I do that we played. I want to know, and I think we played our hardest, and we got ready to play. We'll watch and evaluate the film. And I don't think now that we've played the game, we could put all those factors together and find a win, because they did have 3 turnovers. Usually if we win the turnover battle, that gives us a chance. They had 3, we had none. But again, as you looked at the game and you looked at our ability to get first downs, we didn't have the ability to get first downs. And defensively, we were able to stop their run pretty good, but it was only because we had so many safeties on the line of scrimmage that their wide open receivers made huge plays. So we'll look at it and not read too much into it. We'll try to understand where we can get better and go from there. But I've still got a feeling. I got a good feeling about our football team. The players want to win. I told them after the game, keep your head high. Don't be angry. Don't be disappointed. Let's just be intent on going out there, correcting mistakes, and know that we don't have maybe one other team, LSU, that can play at the level of Kentucky and take it from there.
What were your thoughts on that late touchdown there in the fourth quarter?
Theirs?
Yeah.
You know what? They got second teamers. I told Mark, and he kind of half apologized. I said, Mom, apologize. And I said, Mark, you got guys that need to work and backup guys that need to play. And if we wanted to keep them scored, we put our third and fourth teamers in. So it wasn't like either team was really at a point where we were saying, oh my goodness, we don't want them to score, so we keep our starters in. We had the bottom lineup for our people, and they were doing things with their backups. I've never been upset. It's kind of like the old theory when a wishbone team would go out there in the old days in the fourth quarter with their third team that still pitched the wishbone and score touchdowns, and people wouldn't think they were running. They ran their offense. So I think Kentucky just ran their offense, and I have no problem. I just didn't even think about it. As my dad once told Lou Holtz after a big game when he was at William & Mary, my dad was at West Virginia, and Lou asked him why he scored at the end. And my dad said, Lou, it's your job to hold the score down, not me. And that was a half joke, half tongue in cheek, but I don't ever hold the other team upset very often in those situations, because I know how much backups want to play and perform.